Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel and welcome to another reading vlog where I'm gonna let a random number generator choose the books that I read. So I've done a few videos like this before, and basically the main goal is to go into my Goodreads TBR and hopefully read books that have been on my TBR for like a long time. So like I either don't remember them or I'm like not planning on reading them anytime soon and just wanna, get through my TBR. Like there are some books that I have like already specific plans for. So if we land on one of those, I'm not gonna read them for this video, or like now there are already some books that I added that like are gonna be released next year. So like I already have them in my TBR, but obviously I can't read them yet. So, I can't guarantee that the book that is chosen by the random number generator will actually be what I read, but hopefully it will. And I'm going to choose 3 books to read. And also, if all of them are the same genre, maybe I will like try to choose another time to see if we get a different genre, because like last time I had 3 fantasies and so I ignored the third pick and like I rolled again and then we got a horror. So just have some variety. Okay, so here we have my Goodreads TBR, and as you can see there are some books here that have no covers because they are like gonna be released next year and I guess they still don't have a cover. So yeah, like I said, if we get one of those books I will obviously not read them because I can't. But yeah, so we will go with a like 194 books because it's like what's here, which is always one more than what's here, like in this area. I don't know why. I know that I could look for the book that is probably a duplicate, but I don't want to. I can't be bothered. So we're gonna go with the highest number, which is 194, and we are gonna hope that it gives us something good. And with something good, I mean not the start of series, or at least not more than one book that is the start of a series. Okay, so we have 137, and 137 is obviously the start of a series because, when is it not? When is it ever not? So we're gonna spin again. In the last video I did of this, it gave me 2 books that were the start of series. So, this is already going great. 144, they're not going like as down as I want them to. 144 is Deadly Occupants. I have no idea what this book is, even though it's like kind of high up on the list, so like it wasn't added like that long ago. I have no idea what this is, but it's not a series, so that's great. And we are gonna go into hopefully our final spin, our final book, and we have number 139, which is very close. The Pariah, which is also the start of another series. So I'm going to spin again, and if it lands on a book that is not part of a series, I'll choose that. If it lands on a book that is also the start of a series, I will just read this one, because I really don't want to be starting so many series, because I'm in the middle of like 30 something series, and that is already a ridiculous amount. So I don't want to be in the middle of like 2 more series, because like if I do like the books, I will obviously want to continue with this series. So we have 93, and 93 is also the start of a series. So I guess we'll go with that other one that I already don't remember like the title of. Okay, it's here, The Pariah. Okay, so we have the Ninth Reign, which is fantasy. And how many? Okay, it's a trilogy, so it has 3 books. I was gonna check how many books. 3 books, okay, and it is 544 pages long. And we have Deadly Occupants, which is a horror thriller. Okay, interesting. I have no recollection of adding this to my TBR, and I have like no recollection of ever like even seeing the cover of this book. Like it tells me nothing. So that's something. And then we have The Pariah, which is fantasy as well, and it has 3 books as well. Okay, like it could be worse, like they could be longer series, but still wish we didn't have 2 new series. Should I just spin again? Like, am I just cheating at this point? I guess so. We're gonna spin one last time, and I swear this is the last time. So we have number 159. Okay, 159 is the second book in a series that I am actually, like, I have read the first book and this is the second. So should I just do that? Because like that is a series that I am already in the middle of. I'll keep my options open. Like I will see where I am, and this is also fantasy, by the way. I will see like where I am in terms of, you know, chaos in my reading and also like time and maybe what I feel like at the time. But yeah, I will keep my options open. I mean, if things go even like better than I am planning, expecting, I might even read the 4 books. Who knows? But yeah, so I'll definitely read The Ninth Reign. I will definitely read Deadly Occupants. And then the third book we will see. But yeah, that's it for the choices for now, and let's just get into actually reading the books. Okay, so I am halfway through the first book, which is The Ninth Reign, which is fantasy. It's the first book in the Winnowing Flame trilogy, and a lot is happening in this book, and I am slightly overwhelmed. And I mean, I'm actually further than halfway. I think I'm at like 60-ish% because I was just like vibing reading the book, and then I remember that I actually had to update the video because I was just, I was just reading. And so, yeah, I'm definitely over halfway through. And so basically, we are following 3 characters mainly. We have Tor, we have Vincenza, who goes by Vintage, and we have Noon. And Tor is an Aboran, and Aborans are stronger than humans. They live for longer than humans, and they used to have like a very thriving society, but now they're all kind of like dying from like a sickness. And then we have Vintage, who is a human, and she and Tor are like working together, and she is like an explorer, and she wants to learn more about the Duralia, maybe, who are some creatures that have like invaded their world 8 times already, and whenever they invade, they bring a lot of death and destruction. And in the past, like the Aboran have been very important to fight off those creatures, but now the Aborans are, like I said, dying off. And then you have Noon, who is a witch, and she is a prisoner because in this world, basically, witches are imprisoned. But she one day manages to escape the place where she is being kept, which is the Winery. And she runs into the other 2, and they are like now sort of all working together because there are a lot of signs, including like some prophetic dreams, I guess, that show that the Duralia will invade again. And basically, like the time that they invade, they call it like the reigns. So there have been 8 reigns, and the next will be the 9th reign, which is the title of the book and also the name of Tor's sword. And yeah, they keep like investigating, they keep exploring, they find some artifacts of the Duralia, and then like basically where I stopped, something absolutely crazy just happened. Like they found something and something kind of crazy happened. So I stopped like at a point that is, like I said, kind of crazy. So I really want to go back into reading because I'm really, really, really liking it. I am really liking to learn about this world, and there is, like I said, a lot going on. I am sort of overwhelmed, especially like in the beginning. I was very overwhelmed with like everything that was happening because there is a lot of information just thrown at you. But I am loving to learn about it, and I also really like the characters, and I really like I like them all individually, but I also really like them together, like their interactions, their dynamic. I am really, really, really liking it. I'm having such a good time. There are times where I feel like it's moving a bit slow for me, but other than that, like I'm having a really good time. I'm really liking it. It's super fun, and I am definitely very invested in this story, and in these characters, and I really want to see where it all goes. So yeah, I'm having a good time. It is going very well, and I am going to finish the book and I will be back. Okay, so I finished the Ninth Reign, and things got actually like crazy in the, I think, last 40% that I had left. Cause like, I mean, where I stopped, things are already getting crazy. Like something absolutely insane had happened. I think I mentioned that. And then like we got some explanations of what was happening, about like what they found really was, how like it explained some stuff from the Jurelia, and then things got crazy again, and like crazier, because Vintage found something, and like someone, and like that person that she found like was in some interesting conditions and definitely had like some interesting discoveries to tell her about. And then with Tor and Noon, they found like even crazier things, because like Tor and his people were like trying to, you know, save themselves, like their race. And there was like one specific being that they had to try to save, and that would like save themselves. And so they were doing like all that they could, and they thought that they found like a solution, but after that like everything went absolutely insane, and now they're like in a lot of danger. And yeah, it was crazy. I'm trying to be like as vague as possible, but I feel like I'm already saying too much, so like I'm not gonna say anymore. I'm just gonna say that it was crazy, and I really liked it. I really like the characters individually. I really like the characters like interacting with each other. I really like the world. It is so interesting, and the different like species, the different beings, and like the magic. And yeah, I really, really liked it. There were like some points, especially like in the first half, that like it was a bit slow for me. So like it wasn't, you know, my perfect book, but I really liked it. I think it was a great introduction to the series and this world, and I definitely want to keep reading the series, and I think I'm giving it 4 stars. So yeah, a great start to this video. We are going super well, and now I'm going into the second book, which is Deadly Occupants. I already have it here ready to go. I know that this is like a horror book, but other than that, I have like absolutely no clue what this is about. I assume a haunted house because there is a haunted looking house in the cover, and 4 girls. So I'm assuming these 4 girls are gonna go into a haunted house. You know, crazy powers of deduction, I know. So yeah, I'm gonna read half of this and I will be back. Okay, so I am 60-ish% into Deadly Occupants, which is a horror book, and I didn't read the synopsis really before going to this book. Like, I must have at some point, because it was, you know, clearly in my TBR. But like now, after the book being chosen and before reading it, I did not read the synopsis. So I didn't really know what it was about. I just assumed it was going to be set at a haunted house because there is a haunted house in the cover. But it is actually not. Like, so we're following these 4 friends, and the main one is called Blair, I think. So like we follow Blair on like a first person POV, and then they're like her friends. And so the 4 of them in the beginning of the book do go to a haunted house, but they spend like a couple chapters there, and then they go back to their lives. They are in college, they're all roommates. And after going to that haunted house in the beginning of the book, they start experiencing some weird things happening like in their house and in their lives in general, especially Blair. And that's basically like what's happening. And I'm not really liking it that much, because like there are some creepy things happening, but so far it hasn't really gotten that crazy. And we are like focusing a lot, and I mean a lot, on like a romance with Blair and someone else. And like I don't know if her love interest is supposed to seem very suspicious, very weird, creepy, untrustworthy, but he definitely seems that way to me. So there's that. And also, I don't care about the romance. Like, I don't really care about any of the characters. Like, I don't really feel connected to any of them. And like, the creepy, scary things that are happening are not that creepy and scary yet. And there's like not enough of them for me to be, you know, that interested. Like, granted, like, to at the point where I stopped, it is getting a little more intense, like the haunting situation. So like, I am still excited to see where it goes now, because I feel like I will get more interested in what's happening now, because yeah, some things are like escalating for sure. So I'm excited about that, but like, for now, so far, I'm not loving it. And yeah, I don't really care about any of the characters. Like, if they die, I wouldn't care, really. So there's that. But yeah, I still have hope that I will like these last 40% more than what I've already read. But yeah, I'm gonna finish it and I will let you know. Okay, so I finished Deadly Occupants, and you know, remember when I said that it was getting more interesting, it was getting like more scary things were happening, so I thought I was gonna like this like last, I think, 40% that I had left more than the rest. Well, not really, because like, things did get more intense for a while, but then it went in a direction that I didn't really want. And there was like this, you know, big reveal that I thought was honestly kind of predictable. And yeah, I just went in a direction, like, in general, that I didn't really want. And it was not really the like horror book that I expected it to be. So yeah, like, I did like the like actual ending, like the last chapter, the last pages. I did like that, because that is the kind of horror ending that I like. So I enjoyed that. But the rest, like, it was okay. I didn't, you know, absolutely hate it, but I also didn't really love anything. I didn't particularly love the plot. I didn't love the characters. I definitely didn't love the direction that it went in the end. I mean, not the end, but like the last 30% or something. So yeah, didn't love it. Didn't go very well for me. I think I'm gonna give it 2.5 stars. I'm still like not entirely 100% sure, but if not 2.5, it's gonna be something along those lines. But I will obviously give my final rating at the end. But yeah, that's finished, and I am gonna go into our third book, and I'm actually gonna read The Pariah. I know that I said in the intro that maybe I wasn't, but like, I am. And yeah, I'm gonna update you when I am halfway through that. Okay, so I am almost halfway through The Pariah, which is the first book in the Covenant of Steel, I think, series, and it is fantasy. And I decided to, in fact, read this book and not cheat and skip it, because after I read like the first book for this video, which was also fantasy, and I enjoyed it so much, I was like, why not? Like, I already started one series, I can start another, you know, why not? And also, if this clip looks exactly the same as like my first update for Deadly Occupants, it's because I'm filming them on the same day, because I'm actually reading both of these books at the same time. But I want to keep like the video more organized, so I'm doing separate clips for that. But yeah, I am nearly halfway through that. So we're following Alwyn, I think that's how you would say his name. And he basically was raised like in a group of outlaws. And after like some betrayals, I guess, he ends up getting into the king's army, and there is like a war going on between like the king and who they call the pretender, who I think is supposedly, like he says he is, like the king's brother's bastard son. So he claims that he like is the one that should be on the throne, because like that brother of the king was like the older brother, so like, you know, the one who had the claim to the throne, and therefore his son would have the claim to the throne. So yeah, there's like this war going on, and Alwyn is like part of the army that fights for the king. And there is like this religious order that is the Covenant, and they support the kings. And Alwyn, like he is like in a part of the army that is like under the command of a woman that has like some visions, or claims to have some visions about like what the future will bring, and like a demonic apocalypse or something. And like I'm not loving it, and I don't know if it's because I'm like kind of overwhelmed with the world and like everything that's happening, or if it's just because like this character keeps going from like one place to another and from like one group of people to another, and every time like I feel like I'm getting settled, like everything changes and I have to meet a bunch of new characters and go to like a whole different place. So like I don't know exactly why I'm not loving it, but I am sadly not loving it. And yeah, I don't exactly know why. And like there are a lot of things, a lot of topics that sound like something that I would love. Like if I heard someone talk about this synopsis, I would be like, I would absolutely love that book. And like in theory, I should be absolutely loving this book, but I am not. So yeah, I don't know what's happening. I still obviously have half of the book to go, so I can still change my mind about it. I can still, if not love it, at least really like it. So I still have hope, because like I said, it does sound very interesting. It does sound like something that I would love. So I am still hoping that I will at least enjoy it more than I am enjoying it now. And I mean, it is quite long. So like there's still a lot to go. There's still a lot that can happen. And yeah, those are my thoughts for now. And I am going to finish it and I will be back. Okay, so I finished The Pariah, and things definitely took a turn at the end of the book that I was not expecting, but I did enjoy the second half more than the first, for sure. And also, like, our main character, Alwyn, he was given a book by someone, by a character that he, like, was asking for help, and then that character gave him the book, but also, like, needed their help with something about the book. And like when he started to find out what was in that book, that was so interesting and also weird and also concerning. And I really like that whole part about the book. And we again like changed settings, but most of the characters like continued to be the same. So I enjoyed that more. And at the end, like things, like I said, definitely took a turn. So I actually really liked the way that it ended, and like that it is setting up the next book. So I do want to continue the series, which is exciting. And I do like the main character. I do like the characters that he's like surrounded by. And I do like the direction that it seems to be going now, and that it seems that the second book will go in. And I think I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars. I'm still not entirely sure, because like I thought about 3.5 and then I was like, I recently read A Court of Silver Flames, which has nothing to do with anything, but I gave that 3.5 stars and I'm like, did I like this as much as that? Because I feel like maybe I liked it a bit more, but then it's not really 4 stars, because I gave 4 stars to the Ninth Reign, and I definitely like the Ninth Reign more than I like this. So like then he's the Ninth Reign 4.5, because I was debating between 4 and 4.5, and then I decided to go with 4. But if I give this one a 4, then the Ninth Reign is not a 4. But if I give this 3.5, then he's a Court of Silver Flames 3.5, and I'm just like confused. So I don't really know what I'm gonna rate it yet exactly. And obviously, like, there are really no two books that you feel exactly the same about. So, like, obviously ratings are, I mean, they're subjective to begin with. Everyone rates differently, and, you know, they are liked or disliked for different reasons. So obviously, again, you're never gonna like two books like the exact same amount. But yeah, I am definitely confused, but I enjoyed it. I definitely liked part two more than part one, and I do really like that plot about the book. And I, again, am very excited with how the book ended, and I definitely want to continue with the series. So overall, I enjoyed it. I had a good time. I just didn't, you know, absolutely love it, but overall, I had a good time. And yeah, that's it. That is that for that book. And I am gonna read A Tangle of Time as well. I have decided to just, you know, read the 4 books, because why not? I want to read it anyway, so I am gonna read A Tangle of Time, and I will update you once I am halfway through that one. Okay, so I am halfway through A Tangle of Time, which is book 2 of the Hexologists, which is like cozy fantasy mystery, and we basically follow 2 characters, Isolde and Warren, and they are the Hexologists, and they are a couple, and like she can do hexes, which are like types of magic spells, and they investigate stuff, especially like magical mysteries. And in the first book, you know, they investigated a magical mystery, and I like the book, but mostly because I really like the characters, because like cozy is not really my thing usually, and like the mystery was, you know, pretty cozy. It was not like high stakes, but I really, really, really love the characters, so I definitely wanted to just continue reading about them. And so in this one, they are once again investigating a mystery, and actually, like, they find out about this thing that they're investigating because someone that Isolde came in contact with is found dead, and they actually are the ones that like find that person, and that's like where they want to start investigating, or like specifically she wants to start investigating. And like weird things, very weird things are happening surrounding like the crime scene itself, even because like the crime scene seems to change, and like there are some weird magical occurrences happening, and also like something that belongs to them, like a sort of portal, was stolen. And yeah, there are a lot of weird things happening, and I am really liking it. Like, I continue to absolutely love these characters. Like, they are so fun, they're so funny, and they are so cute, like all at the same time, and I absolutely love them. Like, I love them individually, and I love like their interactions. Absolutely obsessed with them. But I'm actually also really interested in the mystery, also because there's like a drug that's involved, and they found like this discovered something about the world slash worlds, and like there is a lot going on, and I have like no idea what's happening, but I am very intrigued. I'm very actually invested in this mystery as well. So I am having a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it, and yeah, that's it. So far it's going great, and I'm very curious like how everything is gonna come together, because like I said, there's a lot of things happening, like a lot of different things, a lot of different crazy things happening at the same time, and I'm very curious to see where it all goes. But I'm really enjoying it, so I'm going to finish it, and I will be back with my thoughts on this book, and just like my final thoughts on everything, and my final ratings, and just, you know, to wrap up the video.
Okay, so I have finished A Tangle of Time, and let me tell you, things went like in a less cozy direction that I was expecting. And I mean that in the best way possible. Like, it was very fun, but like I was kind of stressed because things went crazy. And we found out like a lot of things. Obviously, as Wiz and Warren were investigating the case, and more like weird things were happening with the magic. And we met like a bunch of characters, people from their past. Some were like friends, some were less friendly. And yeah, so we found out a lot. And we obviously found out who was behind that murder and some others that occurred. And yeah, like I said, towards the end, things definitely went in a like not as cozy direction. And I was actually like worried. I was stressed, and I really like that. Also, like there is an overarching mystery, I guess, about is father, like that we've sort of known since the first book, and we learn more about it in this one. And I'm assuming it will be talked about in the third book or in another book in the series, but I'm definitely like curious about that as well. And the way that it ended, it definitely like leads into a third book, which I am very excited about. I definitely want to keep reading the series. I still absolutely love the characters, and I continue to like absolutely love them as, you know, their own person, but I also absolutely love them together. Like their interactions are so fun, and yeah, I absolutely love them. And I did like this book more than like the first because, you know, like I said, I continue to absolutely love these characters, but in this case, I was actually also very invested in the mystery, like in the plot. It was also like really working for me. So yeah, I had a lot of fun, and I'm very happy that I decided to also read this book for this video. And so let's go into like my final ratings for everything. So to Ninth Reign, I am giving 4 stars. Deadly Occupants, I'm giving 2.5 stars. The Pariah, I'm giving 3.5 stars, and A Tangle of Time, I'm giving 4 stars. So I would say that overall it was positive, and it definitely got me to read books that I would not have read otherwise if not for this video, which is the main goal, except for A Tangle of Time. That was like higher on my priority list than the other books. I am glad, again, that I read A Tangle of Time for this video, not only because I enjoyed it, but also because like I started 2 new series, but I also caught up with the series. You know, so like, is the balance still negative? Yes, but it could have been worse. You know, I am glad that I read all of these books, and I also am glad that I read The Pariah and didn't just switch it out for A Tangle of Time, because even though like I didn't absolutely love everything about the book, I definitely still enjoyed it, and I am interested in continuing the series. So I had a good time with it. I had a good time with basically all the books except Deadly Occupants, which wasn't really my thing, but yeah, overall it was very positive, and like I said, it achieved the main goal, which is to get me to read books that I wouldn't have read anytime soon otherwise. So yeah, that is it. That is everything for this video. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you have enjoyed it, and if you did, give it a like and subscribe, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!